Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, I'm very excited because on top of giving you guys any bookish content, I'm actually organizing my bookshelf. Right behind me, we have my bookshelf. I don't know if you can tell, but it is a mess. I used to have it all organized by genre, by nonfiction, by fiction, by what I've finished reading versus not finished, all of that stuff. And I'm not gonna lie, I've gotten way too many books over the last like 6 months and it's out of control. So we really need to organize, and I figured I'd bring you guys along with me. It's gonna be a time. So I am in my comfy attire. I'm wearing my meowy Christmas sweater and we should just get right into it. I have a plan in my head already, so if you are new here, I'm Emily. Do not forget to subscribe if you want to see more bookish content from me. And without further ado, let's get started. Okay, so I have a vision. As I said, I do have coffee with me because I'm gonna need it. But I have, I believe, almost 100 books here. It's a lot for such a small shelf. You know what, it might be closer to 80 because I do have books kind of like sprawled around my house too. But we are gonna organize this in the best way I know how, and even more organized than I had it before. So I wanna put it basically, probably thrillers up top, maybe some romance. I feel like romance is probably gonna shift down to the bottom here. Then I wanna have my classics, and then I wanna have my like nonfiction, which isn't that many. I used to think I was gonna read like one nonfiction a month, but I ended up not really caring too much for those, honestly. I read more thriller and romance throughout the year. Haven't really read that many classics, but I plan to. And then at the very bottom shelf here, it is
somewhat organized.
It's all the books that I have read. So I don't really know if there's enough room on the bottom for all the books I've read, but we're gonna try, and if there isn't, we're gonna figure something out. Maybe I'll put them somewhere else in my house and put the books I haven't read back here. I don't really know yet, but for now we're just gonna get started with here, the thrillers, the romances, all that stuff, and see how it goes and see how much room we have left. Like I said before, I only have a few classics. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So Pride and Prejudice. Honestly, I don't know if I'm gonna end up reading it. Wuthering Heights, I definitely want to read. Anne of Green Gables, also really want to read. Mainly because I feel like it's just a vibe. Maybe around like fall or spring I'll read this one. And also there's the show Anne on Netflix that like everyone says has been really good. So I feel like I need to read the book first. This is one of my most beautiful books I own. It is this leatherback Little Women. I found it at a thrift store for like super cheap and I was like, I want to read it, so love that one. And then I have read this one. This is In Between the Sheets by Ian Mcewen. He wrote Atonement, if you know the movie maybe, but yeah, he's definitely one of my favorite classics. Love his work, it's really good. I also have The Daydreamer by him, which I read recently, so that one was really good as well. These are more so like novella classics, but yeah, you can see there's like a lot of love there. Anyway, those are the only 5 classics I have, so I'm just gonna leave them on the floor for now and see where I end up making room for them. So these are all of my like smaller thriller books. I don't really like reading these books. Like I prefer them to be paperback, much bigger than this, but I have them and I figured I would actually put them the other way, like this instead of like this, because I really hate the way it looks when there's like big book, big book, big book, little book, big book. It doesn't look cute to me. So I'm gonna put them like this on the top shelf because I think there's just enough room for that. So I'm now realizing that I have a few just like general fiction books and one poetry book, which I've never read this. This has been around for years. I really do want to read it eventually. That is going to be a near future read. But I also have The Vanishing Half, Ready Player One, which isn't really up my alley, but we'll see. I've heard amazing things about the Kite Runner, so I definitely need to pick this one up. And a classic, 1984. Totally forgot about that classic, so I'll put it with those. But these are just gonna go right next to my romance because there's room there. Let's just do that. Okay, so everything is complete except for the bottom shelf, which, like I said, is all the books that I've read. And I'm pleasantly surprised at how organized this looks. Wasn't expecting all of it to fit, but it does. So I'm gonna just quickly reorganize this to be a little bit more like pleasing to the eye, not just like in a random order. Even though it's books I've read, it doesn't really matter, but I just want it to look cute. So we're gonna do that super quick, and then I will show you guys the end result. Okay, I'm gonna bring you around vlog style now so I can show you all of the books, the results. It looks really good. You can kind of get a little look here, but we're gonna dive deeper. So I will start with the very top and go all the way down. So the very top only has 2 books on it, but they're cute. They are my boyfriend's books, so decided to put Dune and an H.P. Lovecraft up here. I just like the way they look, especially with like the plants and everything. I think it just looks super earthy. Love that. And then as you go down, this is such bad lighting. This is the thriller section. So you can kind of see we have, you know, Turn of the Key by Ruth Ware, Good Girl's Guide to Murder, My Lovely Wife, all of the thriller books that I have yet to read. And like I said, I put all of the smaller ones here because I just don't like the way they look when they're here. I might end up like moving one of these, so it's kind of like spaced out a little bit. And then I actually decided to put all of my classics underneath because they just fit like perfectly here. So that was a good move. When you go down again, I don't have any on their side, like horizontal. Oh wow, that took me a while. Okay, so I have all of my romance on the left here. So I do have that one poetry book, but then I have Beach Read in the corner. I have Truly Madly Guilty, The Last Post, Ugly Love. Gotta love all that Colleen Hoover there. And then a few of the fiction, Vanishing Half, stuff like that. And then these are all of my nonfiction. I am considering getting rid of a few of these because I'm not really that excited to read some, honestly, but we'll see what ones I keep. And then at the very bottom, like I said, all the books I've read. So there's a few hiding like nonfiction in the corner, but I am obsessed with this book, my favorite book of all time, so it stays up like this. But yeah, we have the one there. And then I put these in order too, so it's all of my thrillers that I've read. Then there is 2 thrillers here as well. Then I have all the romance I've read. This is like a fiction book, but anyway. Memoir and another thriller that was small and just didn't fit. So that is my entire bookcase. I'm honestly really surprised, like I said, but it looks so good now and I feel more comfortable actually recording in front of it. I'm not ashamed of the way it looks anymore. So that is the finished product. And that is it for this video. So I'm finally feeling a little bit more at ease with the way my bookcase looks. It was a mess for a while, but I think now it actually looks pretty great. So I'm really excited to record in front of it more. And eventually when I move, I'm excited to expand my book collection. But for us right now, I want to just keep it. This is how many books I can have. I cannot have more books. It would be way too much of a hassle to move. That is it for this video. Be sure to subscribe if you want to see more bookish content. And if you want to see any more organizational content in general, because I do work part-time at Indigo, but also part-time / full-time at home. And I have a lot of things I need to keep organized here. Thank you so much for coming to my channel. And I will see you guys in my next one.